Welcome, my friends, to another edition of Wednesday Night Live right here on Mike Avery Outdoors. My name is Mike Avery. Glad to have you along with us. Wednesday Night Live is something we do every Wednesday night here on my Facebook page, on my YouTube channel, now on Twitter as well. And as always, trying to figure out a way to get it on Instagram using the StreamYard platform. But how are you this evening? A very big cold front came through my neck of the woods here. Hey, Randy, good evening. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. Again, on another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Last night, I was in a tree stand. It was 73-ish degrees. This morning, woke up and it was low 40s. Elza's with us, checking in from Gladwin County. John, good evening. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. Fur Gala E. Ted. Sal, nice to have you with us. And Jim, we got a good crowd coming on again. Ryan, hello. How are you this evening? Always a pleasure to have you along with us, my friends, as we talk about this great outdoors, the history and tradition of the outdoor lifestyle. Here, primarily, I will admit, primarily in the great state of Michigan, but I think a lot of our topics can expand into other areas because we all love the outdoors. Been a while, huh? Hey, Terry, congrats on that Michigan brand ham. Craig Hurley, and we're going to give away a Michigan brand ham tonight, by the way. Hello, Craig. How are you? Jason, nice to have you along with us. Johnny and Aiden checking in from Pennsylvania. Excited to hear. What is excited to head to Kentucky Friday for a week of deer hunting. Steve, have fun. Good luck to you. I will be in a tree. I won't be deer hunting now in Michigan until, good evening, Robert. How are you? Until Sunday evening. Now, the Michigan firearm deer season kicks off Sunday, a half hour before sunrise. Sunday morning, I will be in church, but Sunday night, I'll be in the woods with a 30-06 in my hands, which seems like a very, very strange situation for me. I'm doing a great, Bernie. How are you? Terry says she got that ham yesterday. Save it for Thanksgiving. You'll love it. Just getting home from your tree, Tim. What did you see tonight? I bet it was a cold sit, wasn't it? A lot colder than it was last night, that's for sure. My video? It wasn't. Let me get rid of. Oh, there it is. Yeah, thank you for that, because when I appreciate it. There we go. Thank you, Elza. No, thank you, Lyle. It's funny because when I checked my camera earlier, it didn't show that way. So I appreciate that. Thank you. You guys are looking out for me, aren't you? I appreciate it. Pinnabog checking in. Johnny Bowler, how are you? Nice to have you along with us. Hello, Lori. Lori from Wild Card Adventures. All right, so what are we going to talk about tonight? The weather. We've had a huge cold front come through here in Michigan. I mean, major. Lots of big winds. Temperature dropped. Firearm season kicks off Sunday, a half hour before sunrise. Talked about that. I won't be back in the woods until gun season starts. Oh, I screwed up everything, didn't it? Huh. Isn't that weird? I thought I was all set to go. We're good. That'll work. That will be good enough. You're hoping your 11-year-old gets a chance to, during gun season, we hunt state land, hasn't been getting discouraged. That's easy to do, isn't it? Eating Rapids, check it in. How are you? Turned out to be a good day. Good. We're going to talk about guns. We're going to talk about guns. We're going to talk about handguns. I got a whole stack of them here next to me, including the latest addition to the Avery family gun collection. We'll talk more about that. Thank you for the reminder. Hey, Brent, good evening. How are you, my friend? A couple things I want to talk about first. The weather. Firearm season kicks off. I hope you get a chance to get out in the woods during firearm season to continue this history and tradition of gun hunting, of deer hunting. My hunts. Let's see. I thought I was going to be able to keep my perfect record together of not seeing a deer while deer hunting, but I blew it. Johnny says 2 years ago to the day his dad passed away. Johnny, it was 4 years ago Tuesday my dad passed away. So I hear you, brother. Oh, and speaking of that, not passing away, happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans friends. Thank you for what you did. Thank you for the time served. Thank you for the sacrifice you made. Thank you for the commitment that you made. so that we can live in a free world. Hopefully it stays free, right? But no, sincerely, thank you to all of our veterans. Look at this. Gary Linkowski. Hey, Link. Link is a guy that I worked with for many years at TV5. Link and I, we used to get into a little bit of trouble. I was kind of a reporter and he was a full-blown photographer. And we used to have a lot of fun. In fact, sometime if I see you in person, remind me to tell you the story of a live shot we did in Caseville, where Gary and I, Link and I we had a few hours to kill in the afternoon, and we were much younger and much crazier than we both are today. Yeah, Art says, yeah, thank you to our vets. Amen to that, brother. Marla checking in so far. $3 didn't shoot yet. I see my collar's all screwed up here, which I can't tell which one it is. But the other night, Monday night, I was out in the tree and I saw right at dark, a deer came in from across the clearing and I couldn't see what it was. It was getting really dark and then he grunted and I knew it was a buck. So there, it blew my perfect deer hunt. Brent is hunting out of the Primal Tree Stands Wraith 270 see-through blind. He found a gut shot 3-point a couple yards from that blind. You can still get that Primal blind. Can I show you? As long as Brent brought it up, share screen, Chrome tab, Primal. There we go. This blind right here. This is the Primal 270 see-through ground blind. And you can get it for $200. It says $270. Watch this. This is magic right here, right? It says $279. If you use the promo code Mike20 and apply it, the price drops to $199. And this is still going on. So go to outdoorpregame.com, use the promo code Mike20, and you can get that blind for just $200. Something was thrown. It wasn't thrown in the water, Link. It was accidentally dropped in the water. And you do remember that too, don't you? Seems like some of us are remembering people who have passed on. Well, thank you, Matt. Matt says, checking in the day is always better with your content. I appreciate that. The day is always better when I can be with you, my friends, as well. Tonight, we're going to give away a Michigan brand ham, part of our ham for the holidays. We're going to talk about the rundown for this weekend's radio show. We're going to talk a little bit more about the firearm deer season coming up. I'm going to walk through... Why is this not clicking on here? I'm going to walk through some concealed carry handguns because... Come on, show me my new comments. Because my wife Denise was involved in a CPL class the other day, and my sister-in-law Diane, and I learned something. I was watching this through the eyes of a new shooter, a woman shooter. Come on, you dog. If it doesn't show me my new comments, I'm going to be in trouble here because I need to see my comments so I can get our winners here. Oh, this is not going to be good. Not going to be good at all. Let me see if... There we go. Come back to this. Show me a new comment. Whoa, look at that. How did that happen? There we go. I think if you're watching me right now, are you watching me? Okay. Johnny says it poured down rain yesterday. Check the inside of the blind. Did it dry as a bone? In case people are wondering. Got a 7-point last night. Good for you. Good for you. Congrats. All right, so we will give away a ham for the holidays here shortly. Let me give you the rundown of this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show before I forget. In the first segment of the show, Scott Keatsman of Linwood Taxidermy talks about preserving your trophy for deer season. It does not have to be... What was the info on the deer blinds again? Go to outdoorpregame.com. That's the website. Go to the website outdoorpregame.com. Click on the Wraith 270 link, and use the promo code Mike20, and it'll take the price of that blind from $279 down to $199. OutdoorPregame.com. Use the promo code Mike20. A lot of people love these. I love the Primal Mac Daddy extra wide 22-footer. Got a nice 8-point out of it. One's super comfy. I was sitting in a 17-foot Primal single stand last night, and it is the most comfortable seat I've ever sat in a ladder stand. Really. Lori's been missing us well, Lori, I thought you were still camping, my dear. Scott says it's a great blind. Brent says it's a great blind. Happy Veterans Day, big guy. Thanks for helping support our guy. Happy Veterans Day, big guy. Thank you for helping support our guy. I don't know what that means, Scott, but you're welcome. It is a magical time to be hunting. Scott Keatsman from Linwood Taxidermy joins me. Then Dean Hall from Sportsmen Against Hunger. This is a very, very important program, and I really love this program. You can donate venison towards needy people this fall season. The website is sportsmenagainsthunger.org. If you go there, you can find a list of all the processors in Michigan, and this goes beyond Michigan. If you donate your entire deer, there's no cost to you, but you can also donate just a few pounds of venison. This venison goes to food pantries, soup kitchens, and the like, and it is a wonderful, wonderful program. Sportsmen Against Hunger. Then Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News joins me. Brad says he also loves his 270. The blind is Avery tested, Avery approved. You got that, Craig. Have to check out the Primal Ladder Stand. Elza, the only tree stand I will hunt from these days is a ladder stand. And I got to tell you what, these Primals honestly are the best ones I've ever used. They use a jaw and truss ladder system. The jaw grips the tree and holds it in place. There's a truss system that makes the ladder nice and stable. I really, really like it. Hey, Mike, how are you, my friend? Nice to have you along with us this evening. In hour number 2, we're talking about whitefish. The white fishing action on the Great Lakes kicks off just about November 15th with Ed Beckley of M65 Bait Shop. Emily Sewell from the DNR reminds us there's still TB in the whitetail herd. We don't hear much about it because CWD is taking all the headlines, but there's still TB out there. Then this week's Ask Avery segment, I'll come back to it here in just a minute. In hour number 3, Richard P. Smith joins me to talk about bear hunting and whitetail hunting. And then we wrap it all up with wild game chef extraordinaire Dave Miner. Dave's back. He's back on his feet. He's feeling better, and he joins us. Okay, before we get to the Michigan brand ham giveaway, and before we look at some guns, the Ask Avery segment. For those of you who have not heard about this, this is a weekly segment where on the radio show I give you a chance to ask me questions. Yes, thank you. I'm trying to find this. Jay's Sporting Goods has a deer donation as part of the Michigan Sportsmen Against Hunger. No, Tony, I haven't seen it. The updated commercial fishing bill from the Senate. This thing is dragging on forever, isn't it? Dave says he'll stay on the ground because the fall is shorter. Ask Avery. This week, a fishing segment, a question, and a hunting segment. John Lott says, hey, Mike. He says, I don't know if this topic has been brought up or if I know the answer, but he's confused about the drop shot laws in Michigan. He fishes the Detroit River for drop shotting for smallmouths, doesn't want to be illegal. Some references seem to indicate the DNR says it's illegal as they consider it snagging. It's very confusing, as many game laws are. When you look, and listen, I'm not one of those guys who hates the DNR and says everything they do is wrong, but when you look at the Game Law Digest, it's very confusing. It's confusing for me. And I think it's confusing for most people, unless you happen to be a lawyer like my daughter. The answer: drop shotting was allowed in drowned river mouths back in October of 2018. But you have to have a certain hook size, less than a half inch in gap. And I said, well, what about the Detroit River that John is asking about? It's not a drowned river mouth. He says, actually, according to the Fish Division, it's an extension of a drowned river mouth and therefore legal to use drop shotting on the Detroit River. Second question, this one from Ben Rude. Good question for this time of year. He says he was watching Michigan Outdoors TV show. They found a 12-point buck dead in the river. He said what they were going to contact the neighbors to see if they could locate it. If unsuccessful, can he legally cut the horns off and keep them? The same question would apply to any deer or elk that you find anywhere in Michigan. Can you cut the head off or keep any part of an animal you find dead? This is from Ben Rude. The answer is, sounds like, is that Alex Trebek? The answer is Alex, who we just lost, by the way. They put in walleye for commercial fishermen. Now that, I got to tell you something right now, I am vehemently and adamantly against. There is no way commercial fishermen should get access to the walleye population. They fished out the native walleye population years ago. The walleye that are in the Great Lakes now, for the most part, especially Saginaw Bay, were restored by the DNR and sport fishermen. The commercial fishermen should not have access to those fish, in my opinion, in my not so humble opinion. So the law says that you need my glasses. A person shall not take, transport, or possess any part of a game animal without a permit. Now, a permit is a license or a salvage permit. You can get a salvage permit, but you can't. If you walk up on a deer that you didn't shoot, you can't legally tag it because you didn't kill it. If you find a deer laying dead out there and it's got a big rack on it, and you want to take it off, you can't because you didn't kill it. You can't tag it, but you can get a salvage permit. Any law enforcement officer can issue a salvage permit. It doesn't have to be a game warden anymore. You can go on the DNR's website, you can download it and fill it out. It's very easy to do, but you can't just pick them up and take them. This includes roadkill deer as well. You need a salvage permit. Nick Grillo, are you with us tonight, my friend? Elsa says she gets salvage permits to be able to get roadkill for coyote hunting. That's a good idea. Sorry about that. Sheds are a little bit different, and we didn't get into that, Tim. And Tim, you're always so insightful, and you always ask the best questions. Sheds are a little bit different, and we didn't get into that, and that's a whole nother topic. There we go. Nick Grillo is with us. Ham for the holidays. Let's do it. You know about Michigan Brand Meats. One of my favorite companies and one of my favorite families, the Grillo family. They are extremely generous. Last year, we kicked off a program called Ham for the Holidays. We're going to do this now every week through the first of the year, where you can win a Michigan brand meat ham for the holidays, and their hams are outstanding. Let me show you, before we start this all, about Michigan Brand. MichiganBrand.net is the website, MichiganBrand.net. Oh, did I screw it up here? I think I did. Oh, there we go. Let's get here. MichiganBrand.net. Yeah, I got it all screwed up, so I'm going to stop it. How do you win one of these? Contest starts right now. You've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes to make your comments on why you want to win a Michigan Brand ham for the holidays. 2 minutes on this. The website is MichiganBrand.net. That's MichiganBrand.net. You can order these online. You can get them at Jack's. You can get them at all kinds of markets across the state. MichiganBrand.net. But you can win a ham for the holidays right now. Thanksgiving coming up just around the corner. Make your comments right now about why you should win a Michigan Brand ham. If you've won in the last couple of weeks, please don't enter. And please do not make a comment that I will give it to a needy family, because that is obviously an honorable thing to do. But when you start making those comments, it's almost impossible for Nick to avoid that. So please don't comment that you're going to give it to a needy family, even though if you did, that would be wonderful. Glenn says, our friend Glenn Venner, happy Veterans Day. Smoked a monster buck 2 nights ago with a truck pulling about at 55 miles an hour. Save a turkey, eat a ham. Jim says he'd love to try a Michigan Brand ham. Michigan Brand ham would be a Thanksgiving for our house. Absolutely. Ham would go great with your turkey. Never had one. Love to try one and convince the wife it's better than the one she brings home from Meijer. Louis, I'll tell you right now, it's better than the one she brings home from Meijer. Michigan Brand ham to share with my Polish hillbilly friends. 1 minute on the contest. 1 minute on a Michigan brand. Gary Linkowski, you need to get in on this. You would love a Michigan brand ham. 1 minute on this contest. Make your comments about why you would like to win a Michigan brand ham as part of our ham for the holidays. Yeah, you don't have to have turkey for Thanksgiving. You can have ham. Well, that's an interesting comment there, Lee. You'd love to win a ham. Green eggs, and there we go. 30 seconds on the Michigan brand ham. Ham for Thanksgiving. Well, there you go. What about the buzzer? What about the buzzer? Somebody's making a comment about the buzzer. I don't see it here now. 20 seconds on the ham. You notice I'm not really keeping track of this, right? Give us a 60-second buzzer. I can't do that tonight, Cam. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. If you've been with us here before, you know it's coming. 3, 2, 1. That was a pretty good one. I could have gone longer. There you go. Links in on it. Yep. You got your Michigan Mike Avery Hunter sticks today. Would love to try a ham. Good for you. All right. Mike and Joel like that one. All right, my friend Nick. Nice. Dan says it. Nice. It was a nice one. It was a good one. Nice. Not bad. What do you mean not bad? John says it's the longest estrus dough bleed of all time. Where'd we go? Nick says Derek Scott. Derek Scott is tonight's winner. Hopefully you enjoy the ham. Derek Scott, congratulations on winning this week's Michigan brand ham for the holidays. Nick Grillo, my friend, I appreciate you making those available. Derek Scott, I got to write this down. Derek, what we need you to do, please, is send me a private message. It looks like you're on Facebook. Send me a private message with your shipping address, and Nick will get one off to you right away. It woke your Brittany pop up, huh? And we'll do this every week. Part of our ham for the holidays, courtesy of Michigan brand meats and the Grillo family. I'm blessed to work with some great people, and the Grillo family are right at the top of that list, along with many other families that I work with. I couldn't be happier. I've been blessed. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate that. Good luck on shooting that big buck behind the house there. And we'll have Nick back on next week with us. Maybe we'll do it from his trophy room. One of these nights we'll do it from your trophy room so you can show it off. All right. Because we haven't had you on in a few weeks. Okay. You got your beagle howling with that buzzer. Oh. I'm crazy. You probably can't send it to South Korea, but you could have one when you come back, Matt. Okay. My wife, Denise, obviously has been around guns because I've always got guns around the house. She's not afraid of them. She's not intimidated by them, but she doesn't have a lot of experience shooting them. My sister-in-law, Diane, has not been around guns at all. Never shot one before, actually quite afraid of them. They both decided they wanted to take a CPL class, a concealed pistol license class last weekend. And I didn't go to the class with them because it wasn't my place, but I did show up near the end of the day when they were on the range. I was very impressed with the class. It was a first-rate operation, but I noticed a couple of things. Like my sister-in-law, Diane, was shooting at 22. Now, the class was on Sunday. I took them out Saturday night just to do some shooting so they weren't completely surprised by it all. Diane was shooting a Smith & Wesson M&P 22, a beautiful gun, very, very low recoil, a great gun for a new shooter, but of course, not the best self-defense gun. My wife, Denise, I had laid out like a half a dozen 9mm for the night before. I said, pick them all up and shoot the one that feels the best to you. She actually picked up a Springfield XDS, which I was surprised, which is a pretty big framed gun. But I noticed when she was shooting it, it was a little bit too much gun for her, and it was not the right gun for her. So I went out. I went Monday morning first thing, and I got her a new gun. And I want to show you that gun in just a minute, but I want to talk about the progression of looking for a self-defense or a concealed carry gun. And I'm telling you right now, I do not pretend to be an expert on this, but I am somebody who has a fair amount of experience with it from a civilian perspective. So let me walk through a few of these, and I'll go through them pretty quick. The first self-defense gun I ever bought was this, a Smith & Wesson 642 revolver. This has been a staple for civilians and law enforcement for years. And every one of these guns has already been safety checked. The downside of this gun, in my opinion, is it only has 5 rounds. It's fairly concealable, but it only has 5 rounds. And in today's world, is that enough? I just knocked them all over. So the next thing I went to, I wanted a small gun because I didn't want people to be able to see it. So I got myself a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. This has 8 rounds in the magazine. It's not a clip, it's a magazine. It has 8 rounds plus 1 in the pipe, so a 9-round gun. But I just didn't like it's a 380, which I think is not the best, but it's okay for protection. But I didn't like it. It's not a good shooter. So I thought if I can go to a 9mm and keep a very small gun, I'll look for that. This is what I came up with. This is a wonderful, beautiful gun. I love this. It's a Kahr, K-A-H-R. It's a Kahr PM9. It is a beautiful gun. It fits very well in your pocket. You can hide it just about anywhere. A very, very reliable gun. And if I remember right, it's got 6 rounds, plus you've got 1 in the chamber, so it's a 7-round gun. I love this gun, but I was a little bit concerned about just having 7 rounds. Brent says that Smith is a great backup. Brent would know. Then I experimented with this, another Smith & Wesson. This is the Smith & Wesson Shield. A very, very good gun, a good shooting gun, but it was a little bigger than what I wanted, and it didn't have the capacity I was looking for. But with the experience on this Shield, I came across what I consider to be the perfect gun for my wife, Denise, and for many other new shooters, female shooters, young shooters, or older shooters that don't have a lot of dexterity and a lot of strength. This is the Smith & Wesson 380 EZ, and I am so impressed with this gun. It is very, very easy to manipulate. Very easy to manipulate. And because it's a 380, there's not as much recoil as a 9mm. I love the fact that it's easy to load. You've got little tabs in the magazine here to drop the follower to make it easy to load. Everything about this gun I like, including the safety on this. None of my concealed carry guns have a safety because I don't want to be messing with a safety. But a grip safety like this, beautiful. I think this for Denise, all right, Johnny, we'll see you, is you had the Kahr in 45. So do I, Jason. And I love it. I've also got it in a CW9. A beautiful, perfect gun. I love this gun. I think my wife, Denise, is going to love it. But the gun that I carry day to day that I have fallen in love with is this one. It's the Sig Sauer P365. It's a high-capacity gun. I think that's a 12-round magazine, 1 in the chamber, 13 rounds from a very small gun like this. Very concealable, very good shooting gun. I love this. This is my daily driver, Sig Sauer P365. But I'll wrap it up because I don't want to bore you on this gun thing. This is the gun that I'm not in love with it, but I think everybody should have one of these. What is it? You know the profile right away. This is a Glock. I'm not a big Glock guy. I don't like Glocks that much, but this is a Glock 19, and I believe that even though I'm not a Glock fan, I think everybody should have a Glock 19. And I'd keep one, and I'm never going to trade it. I'm never going to sell it. So why do I like this gun? It's a high-capacity 9mm. This is the gun that, in my opinion, if it ever hits the fan, that everybody should have. You're not worrying about carrying this one concealed. I don't like Glocks, but I have a Glock 19, and I recommend everybody get one. Oh, who gets bored about talking about guns? Excellent. Glock 43. See now, okay. We're gonna get some comments here, and I'm not surprised. Craig says, "Please PM me when you have a garage sale." I'm never having a garage sale. I don't get rid of guns. The 365 mine does not have a safety. I do not believe in safeties on concealed carry guns because I don't want to deal with them. The new sights on the 365 are awesome. Boom. It's not the XL. It's the 365 with the extended magazine. When I carry it in my pocket, I put the smaller magazine on. Just the standard 365. Sig X, very nice carry. You're looking at an M&P. My wife would make a great Christmas. Of course, it would make a great Christmas present. All right, so nobody gets bored talking about guns. What else? A Glock Gen 2 10 millimeter. Hellcat. I looked at the Hellcat, Jason, and it didn't fit my hands good enough for me to say that I need it. My biggest fear is that when I die, my guns will get sold for what I said I paid for them. You'd like to see holsters? That, Jennifer, that is a very interesting, you know what? That's an extremely good topic. It's taken me many, many years. And I have boxes and boxes of holsters that I've played around with and discarded. For this gun right here, my Sig, I have this outside the waistband holster. I have an inside the waistband holster. I have a pocket holster, and I have an ankle holster. Now that covers everything, right? It covers every situation you're going to get into. Mike's looking for one for his wife. It's a very personal decision, right? What does she carry, Craig? Somebody said, what was this? The great. I love a 45. I love to shoot 45s. Obviously, they're very powerful, but I love the slow push. In my opinion, when I shoot a 45, it feels like a nice slow push. I love it. I don't like 40s. I got rid of every 40 that I had, and I traded or sold them to get 9s. So right now I have 38, 357, a couple of 380s. Well, I have a few 9s, and I kept a 45. I got rid of my 40s. She has a Ruger 38. The Ruger 38 is the help me out. I have one of those that I have loaned to somebody else. What is that called? The LC9. No, the LCR. I have some. Tom carries the. Hey Tom, how you doing, buddy? The Kimber Ultra Carry 45. That is an outstanding gun. I had one. I traded it in because, and Tom, happy Veterans Day to you. Because it is a 1911 platform, and that's what I couldn't get used to. Because I'm not a veteran, and because I didn't have a lot of experience with the 1911 format, I couldn't get used to it. And I was never quite comfortable carrying a 1911. So you're going to cry, Tom. You're going to cry. But I actually had a Kimber Ultra Carry 1911 in a 45, and I traded it. I can't even tell you what I traded it for, but I took a beating on it. Yeah, getting ammo right now is a little bit fun, isn't it? And for those of you just joining us, my name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. This is our Veterans Day edition, and a big thank you to our veterans. If you served, God bless you. I thank God for you. Our country owes you a debt of gratitude, whether you served in war, whether you served in peace, whether you served domestically, whether you were overseas, if you were in the desert, if you were in the jungle, or if you were in Germany drinking beer. You did your part. God bless you for that. I appreciate it. We as a country appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you. My biggest regret in my entire life, and I've been blessed with a pretty good life, my biggest regret is that I never served. That's one of the few things in life that I really regret and that I think I screwed up on. When I was old enough to sign up, it was right after Vietnam. It was coming out of Vietnam. And it was not a good time to be signing up for the military. I'm not saying that's an excuse. It was a factor, but it wasn't a good excuse. And I should have just signed up. And I didn't. And I have felt bad about that. And I have regretted that ever since. A big mistake I made in my life. I never served. That's why I have such respect for those of you who did. So thank you to our vets. Happy Veterans Day to you. And God bless you. All right. Who we got along with us? Vince, amen to that. Phil says Seabees. Same here. And shotgun slugs, no luck. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate that. Yeah, ammunition right now is kind of tough to get. And here's a little secret. It's not going to get any easier. And I'm not making a political statement here, but election years in general, doesn't matter who's running, election years in general are a very big boost to gun sales and ammo sales. And it doesn't matter who's running. But when you get a year like this, where one of the candidates appears to be somewhat anti-gun, it makes gun sales take off even better. So guns are hard to get a hold of right now. Ammo is hard to get a hold of right now. Keep looking. The Edmund Fitzgerald last night. When Vince, was it November 10th it went down? You're saying last night, so I'm assuming it's the 10th. And what year was that, Vince? How long has it been since the Edmund Fitzgerald went down? Just picked up 10 box 20 gauge SSTs for gun season, for firearm season, I bet, huh? Craig says purses make great holsters for ladies. They do. And again, going back to the holsters, you're going to go, if you get serious about carrying or concealed carry, it was the 75th anniversary. Wow. If you get serious about it, you're going to go through a lot of different holsters and you're going to experiment with a lot of different ways. Finding the right concealed carry gun and the right holster is not an easy task if you're picky and if you're fussy and if you're looking for just the right combination. 1975. 1975. You don't like purses for carry. Lori, why is this? Now, Lori would know. Lori is Wildcard Outdoor Adventure. She's working with NRA. Lori, are you also an instructor? I think you are. Why do you not like purses for carrying, Lori? I'll be curious. Is it because there's usually so much junk in a woman's purse? 45 years, not 75 years, 45 years. Isn't that the first thing they grab? I'm waiting to see what Lori says. Good point. The first thing they grab. That's a very good point. Let's wait and see what our friend Lori says. From Lori Card from Wildcard Outdoor Adventures. All right. So while we're waiting for Lori, I told you who's on the show this week. I recorded a Jay's Sporting Goods podcast today. We went through the Ask Avery. November 10th is a day that purses are the first thing they think when you. All right. Everybody says this. Everybody's saying this. Purses are the first thing you lose when you get attacked. If someone takes your purse, they take your gun. I imagine that's what Lori's going to say too. But we'll find out here. Not an instructor yet. I don't always carry a purse. I don't want to fight with it, trying to get, okay. I love the way Lori words this. She's not an instructor yet. she doesn't always carry a purse, but she didn't say she doesn't always carry a gun. Carried on my person. Not as easy for a woman, right? I went Monday, bought a 9mm, still waiting on a nick to come through, but they said it would be a month. Mike, I don't understand this. Mike says he went Monday and he bought a 9mm, still waiting for the nick to come through. They said it would be a month. I don't understand that, Mike, because I went Monday and I bought this gun right here, and they ran the background check as I was standing there, and I walked out the door with it. I'm not sure why they said it would take a month. That doesn't seem right at all. And frustrating too, right? All right, my friends, thank you for joining us on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. Let me know what topics you would like covered. Let me know what topics you would like discussed. Let me know what things you want to look at. Obviously, you like looking at guns, don't we all? Have a wonderful Michigan firearm opener. I did with some help of Marie. Is that why? Because I have a CPL? Does that make it go through easier? And anyway, with my wife getting a CPL and my sister-in-law getting a CPL, listen, I wouldn't waste. If this is something you're thinking about, I'd get it done now. I'm not taking any chances with what happens here in the future as far as guns and access to guns. And I'm taking care of things. Yes, everybody, have a here we go. I was a commandant of the Duluth Coast Guard operations when he was summoned to general quarters in the Coast Guard 45 minutes later. Roger, I didn't know that, man. That's a great story. Roger checking in from North Dakota, by the way. Wonderful, Roger. And Roger, on this Veterans Day, thank you for your service, my friend. All right, folks, have a Dave says he hears Jameson calling. I actually hear Maker's Mark calling, but I think I'm going to make a run to Bay City right now. I have to take my Garber Silverado over to muzzleloader regs. What's confusion? You can use a center fire rifle this year. I'm taking the truck over to Suspension Max in Bay City. They're going to lift it. They're going to lift the front end 2.5 inches. They're going to lift the rear end 1.5 inches to level it out and lift it up. And then Friday, I'm taking it to Mike's Tire Sales in Kaukaulin and getting the biggest tires we can fit underneath that thing. It looks good now. By Friday, it's going to look a lot better. All right. Congrats to Derek Scott for winning this week's Michigan brand ham as part of the Ham for the Holidays. We'll give away another one next week. Derek, if you have not private messaged me your address, please do. Thank you to Nick Grillo and the Grillo family from Michigan Brand Meats for their generosity. And thank you to you, my friends, for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. If you're going to be out, honk on the way by, if you're going to be out on the firearm opener, be safe, good luck, have fun. You don't have to shoot a monster buck to have a great hunt. You just want to have a great hunt. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me on another edition of Wednesday Night Live. The website, MikeAveryOutdoors.com. You can always reach me via email, Mike@MikeAveryOutdoors.com. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live.